Welcome to the grand finals of the 2x speed tournament with MaxPax here taking on Reynor. Starting on altitude, one of the largest maps that there is MaxPax opted to go for a block with the probe, but Reynor opening up with I think what was a 15 hatch before Overlord does manage to get the hatchery down, so that means no adept fun here for MaxPax. Now in the past we have seen that adepts are difficult to control, but if there's one player that's capable of doing it on these speeds, it's going to be the Danish Crown Prince. And we'll have to wait and see what Reynor's plans are. So far it has been, I don't want to say cheesy, but a little bit more aggressive than I think some of the other people, really abusing the fact that his units have very high speed. And once again, we're seeing a complete skip here on the gas, at least for a very, very long time. Cybercore already going down on the side of MaxPax, and yet no gas on the side of Reynor. So that means that Reynor is going to have to completely rely here on MaxPax messing up the kiting with the adepts. Now, it's not completely unlikely that will happen because adepts are really difficult to properly kite on correct speed, let alone on 2x speed. Hatchery is now being thrown down on the third base for Reynor, as more queens should start producing relatively soon. We have double inject starting, actually. Holy crap. There's going to be a lot of drones here popping out. That's a lot of drones. MaxPax not responding to the lack of scouting, or the lack of gas here, and is not going to move across the map with 2 adepts. That's going to give Reynor a massive edge when it comes to the economy. The first unit that will pop here is going to be a Void Ray. I kind of love that. MaxPax saying, hey, Oracle's really difficult for me to control. Instead, I will come in with a Void Ray. And is trying to just move towards where he believes the Overlord is going to be. Second gateway being thrown down as well right now. Reynor, though, absolutely fantastic economy. It's going to be on 42 workers already. A couple of... Ooh. Oh. Is that going to be a 5-gate Twilight Council? So I wonder if this is for Blink. It smells glaives. It does smell like glaives, doesn't it? Yeah, there we go. Also, I can't count. This is only 2 extra gateways, so it's going to be 4-gate glaives here. The Void Ray makes his way across the map. Oracle coming in as well in the natural right now. Spore not quite done yet. There is an Evo chamber on the way. Oracle dealt some damage. 2 kills here. Will need to piss off right away, though. Void Ray already on 2 kills as well. 1 Overlord and 1 drone. He's probably going to try and come in here from the side. Roach Warren is on the way right now for our good friend Reynor, as 5 adepts are out on the map. There's been no link scouting here whatsoever, as these links are now being sent out to try and gather some information. Adepts have been hiding in the corner. Now will make their way across the map. Reynor on 67 workers. If he can hold this build with 67 workers, and this build is garbage, but so far he's not doing a great job. Pulls the drones to fight against these adepts, which is a huge blunder in my opinion. He's going to end up losing 10-12 workers practically instantly. Next Shade coming in as well will take out even more workers. There's 57 probes for MaxPax against the 52 of Reynor. More shaded adepts coming in over here, targeting down these drones. Third base completely in shambles. Main base still lots of drones going down as well. What will the follow-up be? As MaxPax was floating 1500 minerals and 800 gas, was microing his glaive adepts, forgot how quick the mining happens here, and now might actually end up dying to a counter-attack that Reynor is setting up. We have the pneumatized carapace coming in. We have the Glial Reconstitution as well. And this is going to be a queen drop on the other side of the map. Now, the gateways will most likely finish in time. There's a 4th base coming up for MaxPax. There's not even a 4th for Reynor yet. MaxPax will realize that right now. Say, hey, wait a second. Where's everything that you have? Oracle goes in the main base, takes out 4 or 5 workers. There's no Spore there for whatever reason. Queen tries to come in. Void Rays will get microed away. There's 3 of them, and there's 4 queens. With the help of a super battery, perhaps something is going to be possible, but perhaps also no. Super battery, oracles, okay. Queens do get taken out, but is there enough damage output that these rotors and ravagers can actually be stopped? I think the answer is just a simple and fat no. There's absolutely nothing here for MaxPax, whose probes are still mining, who has 1200 gas in the bank, but simply doesn't have enough of anything else. Cybernetic Core gets taken out, Zealots get blasted here, the Void Rays are constantly just flying away from these biles, and that is going to be it for game number 1, in which Reynor, with a very impressive all-in, manages to take it. Very aggressive play there out of Reynor, managing to get a lot of supply out in very little time. MaxPax once again opting to go for that block. Might actually end up getting it here. With a very quick probe scout, 274, yep. Gets the block off, so Reynor here with a very inefficient opener. Extremely inefficient. Supply block for quite some time. Gets the hatchery down at 15 supply while building an Overlord. This is super uncomfortable here for the Italian Zerg player. MaxPax also forgetting to build a probe there for a second. Very uncomfortable for MaxPax too. Don't forget that. You know, uncomfortable for everyone involved here. Spawning pool is gonna go down. I really think MaxPax needs to be aware of the fact that there is no gas in the early game. Like, it's kind of a big deal. Like, gasless is just... People that are not Zerg players don't understand how impactful not getting gas really is for the Zerg economy. It's freaking huge. It is basically 4 extra workers that are just mining minerals. And that really does snowball. Like, you saturate so quickly. You can afford just going double injects and spending all your cash. It feels freaking good as a Zerg player. That I am very well aware of. As this opener didn't feel so good for Reynor. First, Adept is going to be sent out across the map. This is a nice 2-building wall, which is of course possible on this map. And we now have this Adept coming out, starting to play. Let's see what he's ready to do. What are you ready to do here, Maxi? I think I heard a second chrono as well. Yep, so second Adept is out. Adept taking a fair bit of damage here. It just feels unfair, like the gasless stuff. It really does. There's 4 links in the main base as well right now. As these Adepts are trying to go there. And there's, well, there used to be 4 links in the main base, but that's not the case anymore. 1 drone going down, 2 drones going down. This is actually pretty big damage. This is a long time for drones not to be mining either. 5 workers killed total. 2 Adepts have gone down. This was a very positive trade here for MaxPax, as the first Void Ray is now out. I think his goal is most likely to just go into some type of Void Ray Disruptor. Both units which are very good when not being microed very accurately and difficult to micro against as well. Let's not forget about that. Nexus does get thrown down here at around 4:24 in game. It's nice that you can also see the, you know, the realistic timer. And then we have the actual time and then the timer of the 2x speed timer. Which I can pull by getting the vision of either Reynor or MaxPax. Here comes an Oracle. Gets a couple of kills. Forged Twilight as a follow-up. Okay. Robotics facility. 8 more drones coming out of Reynor. What are the plans here for young Reynor, I wonder? Gets an Evo chamber. Has enough cash to do things with it. Got a massive supply block. 5 Overlords at the same time. I never see Reynor get supply block. Legitimately never. That is so crazy. That was a huge supply block. Freaking 13 larvae still available. Not being used whatsoever as Reynor's doing other things. 20 links now in production. Evo chamber starts being used as we're gonna have... Is this a charge all in or like what are we looking at here? It's going to be a couple of Void Rays. We have charge being researched. A battery going down on the 3rd base. A cannon going down on the 3rd base. But what really is this timing going to be? This is what, 4-gate charge? I've never seen this before in my life. This seems freaking terrible. There's so many links out already. 54. And MaxPax simply doesn't really have anything. What? This is some random link flood? Like, I don't understand the build order that Max went for. It seems fairly bad. I mean, he's going to clean this up at least, which is nice. Actually, this is real nice. I thought he was just going to straight up die against this flood for a bit, but... Perhaps there's still an opportunity for him to do something here. There's no Roach Warren on the side of Reynor, who's just straight up going into Hydras right now. 58 workers for MaxPax. I'd say get a Prism, move across the map and try to win in the next 5 seconds. Otherwise, I don't think you're going to end up winning. He has a bunch of Void Rays out, which I'm not quite sure what they're planning on achieving. Oracle heading in towards the main base, maybe trying to get a Stasis Ward down. 4th base under some heavy pressure. At the same time, Queen's also making sure that these bad boys, these Void Rays, can't stay for too long. Hydras could start to get produced here as a 4th, no, not a 4th base. Prism heading over towards the right side location. These links might get in towards the natural. Battery is in position as the links squeeze through one by one. Zealots will need to start chasing. Do we have anything in the main? No, we do have a lot of workers going down in the main. That is something. Bunch of links do end up falling. Queens are out. A very high number. Creep spread fairly poor for Reynor. 5 minutes into the game. So there's also 11 Hydras right now. I'm just not entirely sure what the plan here is for MaxPax. he just doesn't really seem to have an army at all. He's gonna warp in here in the main. That's going to be quite a few zealots. At the same time, attack the fort base. That's also quite a few zealots. This base almost gets taken out, but not quite. Pulls back into the stasis ward, but these banelings are going to continue chasing. Runby's dishing out a lot of damage, though. MaxPax in a position where perhaps he can take out one, maybe even two bases. Continues, well, this extractor is really going to get it. Lair also got taken out. Overlord's now being blasted. Reynor in pretty much an all-in position with this Prism still alive. And Zealot still dishing out a lot of damage here. Fort base on the way on this 9 o'clock. Or fort base already done, actually. This is going to be an all-out effort here for Reynor. Are there any Zealot Runbys on the other side of the map? Right now, the answer is no. Disruptors get connections with the Hydras. The Archons stay alive. And what I thought was going to be game-ending damage onto MaxPax with that initial Link Runby has turned into a game where MaxPax, well, he seems to be holding. GG gets called. And we've actually got a series on our hands with it all tied up 1-1. Reynor coming out with a 12 pool in this game after getting destroyed in a macro game last one. Oh god, I love that game so much. Freaking Zealot runbys are insane though. Like, you have to respond within, like, any type of runby is quite frankly freaking insane. That's what makes it so fun. Like, they're all equally broken. Like, Baneling runbys are crazy in my opinion. Zealot runbys are freaking bananas as well. I wonder how I was gonna do that. So yeah, your core, you want to get your Zealot probably a little bit faster, buddy. No, I don't think this is in time. Hello? You're gonna need to wall this off. No, hello? Oh, wait, that was not in time at all. That was not in time. Reynor not quite realizing that it wasn't in time. What is this? What is this pylon doing here? I've never seen this in my life. It's a weird response so far out of the Maximus Paximus. He's going to end up losing the cybernetics core if he, well, even if he is careful, he's just going to lose it. This is why we often build a cybernetics core in the middle. There's a crap ton of links out here, 12 still. Now, double adepts do pop out. This was a playable defense, I would say. I'm not sure if we could call this a good defense, but there's 2 adepts out. These links are eventually going to end up dying to the Zealot because, well, that's just what's going to happen, and that's what always ends up happening. Cybernetics core gets rebuilt. Reynor's still running these links around. Look at the attention needed to run these links around the entire time is fairly high. MaxPax with a quick response, but not quick enough, loses 1 worker. Adepts make their way in towards the main base, but lots of links are in position, and that means these adepts are now toast. Absolute toast. 20 workers to 24. Once again, completely gasless coming out of little Reynor as the Stargate goes up in the main base here for the Maximus Paximus. And the question now is, what is he going to follow this up with? Answer seems to be 2 more adepts, Warp Gate, Chrono here on that Nexus, but it's 42 supply against 31. And Reynor in a fabulous position, in my mind at least, as he is, worker-wise, this ain't looking too hot, Lance. Ain't looking too hot at all. Double gases coming up in that main base. I really think 12 pool is a broken build. I actually think that 14 pool might be the best build. 14 pool into gasless here. So you force out a response out of your opponent. And then the response for 14 pool is very similar to the 12 pool response, but you have slightly better eco as a Zerg. Usually the problem if you play 14 pool is that you just can't properly deal with the 2 adepts. But because 2 adepts here are not an issue, I really think that might be the best build in the Zerg versus Protoss matchup. But that's going to be a story for another time, as this Void Ray has already taken out 1 Overlord. It's going to get a second as well, and this is like a hungry Void Ray here. It's not quite done yet with its plans. I don't think, well, maybe it is. The Grim Reaper had a plan for you, but it's going to escape for now. 3rd base is on the way already. Well, already. It is on the way. Period. Oracle tried to get some kills. I think it ended up getting 1. Forged Twilight once again. We do have double gases as well. Should start getting saturated. And I'm so freaking curious how MaxPax is going to, you know, kind of play from here on out. How is he going to do it? These links are moving in, and well, this is not the greatest fight that Reynor has had in his life. Just trying to push through the absolute tightest little choke here. Doesn't quite manage to do it. And could have just sent some links around from the other side. Would have been kind of nice. Robotics facility now on the way. Dark Shrine. Okay, well now you've lost me at this point, MaxPax. You've lost me at this point. Dark Shrine. Really? And this Cybercore is actually in some serious problems as well. So a lot of Lings here attacking. Don't forget, there's just going to be a Roach all in behind this. Prism is on the way. There's hardly any scouting. The double Void Rays hopefully are capable of doing something here, but I don't quite see what. Overseer on the way too, so DTs technically shouldn't be the answer. I just don't quite see... He has no units. He has freaking 1,500 minerals in the bank here. I guess this game is just over. Gets 6 DT warp-ins, which is nice. I don't think Reynor is quite realizing it yet. Where's that Overseer? Where's that Overseer? 6 DTs just going absolutely ham, and Reynor no response whatsoever. Don't think it's going to matter all that much, though, as now an Overseer... Well, multiple Overseers here get created. 5 at a time as the Roach army continues battering down the wall. GGG gets called as Reynor wins game number 3 here in this best of 7. Another fairly early pull here coming out of Reynor at indeed the 12 supply mark. Happy with how they went last time. I mean, they get the kill on the cybernetic score, which is usually not really supposed to happen, especially with a double Zealot opener. We'll see if MaxPax changes it up a little bit, sees the complete lack here of a hatchery, could try and block it, will get the block off, which is real nice, because that's going to delay the Ling move out a little bit, if he had continued blocking, that is. Once again, similar setup, this time the core a bit better hidden though, as there is no secondary pylon on the way quite yet. Hello, MaxPax. Secondary pylon, please. Can we get a pylon? Forgot the second pylon. Far from ideal. Very far from ideal, actually. Oh my god. Can't get these adepts out right now. Probes being pulled off the line is not proper either. Let's face it, if you're getting a double Zealot defense, probes should not be getting pulled off the line, no matter how many Lings end up showing up. And there was quite a few Lings. That I can tell you for sure. Okay, we have adept. Here we go. Lings at the same time trying to get in towards the natural, but the adept is there to block. Doesn't quite get the proper block off though. All these units need to come back. Disaster strikes as MaxPax getting destroyed here by the simplest of builds, in my opinion. The 12 pool is the easiest one you can execute as a Zerg. Lots of Lings have been produced behind this, going in for a run by most likely. Reynor actually on fairly low eco because of all of this. And that will get the... Oh no. Not again. Not again. Is there a recall available? There is a recall available. MaxPax decides to just run back home for now. Well, this is a disaster. Stargate most likely is going to end up falling here as well. MaxPax will need to cancel. We'll get the cancel in at the last possible seconds, but he's down 13 workers, has no tech, and no ability really to do anything whatsoever. Has not produced a worker in quite a while either. Rebuilds the Stargate now. Is going to end up scouting the hatch on the other side. No, he will. Okay, there we go. So realizes now that he's been bamboozled on 3 different levels. Double gas is going down for Reynor, who's on 41 supply. Or 41 workers, 59 supply. MaxPax is on 35 supply. Link's trying to push through here. 2 adepts will help out. Reynor doesn't even bother microing. It's like, no, I want to get that Zealot. I don't give a crap. Void Rays being set up now to go out and about on the map. There's 4 gases. We have Lair, and I think, if I know Reynor well, and I do know him relatively well, I think he's going to rinse and repeat what he's been doing that has worked. So we see that Roach Warren. We're most likely gonna see that Overlord speed at some point as well. And we're gonna see a Queen plus, yep, there we go, Pneumatized Carapace. We're gonna see a Queen plus a Roach assault here on that 3rd base of MaxPax, if we can even call that a 3rd. I mean, right now it's just a building. You know, a 3rd is more than just a Nexus most of the time. And there needs to be probes mining as well. And there's no probes mining. So to be a charge lot all-in coming out of the packs. Charge lot all-inning into a Roach all-in is usually not the ideal scenario. Some people have even said that it is probably the worst case scenario because there's lots of Roaches out, and Roaches happen to be the counter to the Zealot. So yeah, this ain't going to be great. Don't know a lot about StarCraft, but that I do know. As the 4 Queens with the Overlord now moving across the map, and most likely going to be bursting down this door momentarily. 130 supply to 57. Overlord will poop as the Queens continue transfusing. And the Void Rays will not be capable of doing anything. This third base is actually mining, which is surprising. Usually this type of defense, if you're the pros, you do with more workers than your opponent, and then you die. Now MaxPax doesn't even have more workers than his opponent, and he's still dying. That pretty much shows how poor his early game was, as Biles almost connect. Well, there they do connect with that Void Ray, and that is going to be it for game number 4, as Reynor puts himself on match point. Hey, Reynor really has no shame, does he? This guy is not an entertainer. He figures out that something works a bit too well, and what does he do? He plays it 3 times in a row. This is pathetic, Reynor. I do not appreciate that. Okay? Do not appreciate that at all. Yeah, sad man. All you can think about is beating MaxPax. What about the fans? What about the viewers, the audience that you're supposed to entertain? Oh, these disgusting cheeses. This is awful. Awful stuff. He's gonna play the same thing again. MaxPax. What? In the ever-living heck is this build? Nexus? Please don't get supply block. Who's workers? The boys? How many links was this? 12 links. Why does he always have to pull so many workers though? I feel like it's not even really necessary. Can you get it? He has no gas mining for some reason. It's a disaster again, isn't it? He doesn't really lose much, but a third zealot. A battery? I'm not quite understanding these decisions here. You open up with a 3 zealot build order. Was this like a 17 Nexus or something? I don't think it was. Was it? Double gas here for MaxPax. 0 gas for Reynor. Reynor actually not that far ahead right now. Doesn't have gases. Even work. Actually, he's down in workers, which is rare. There's also no tech whatsoever though for MaxPax, which is also not very common. There's going to be a hatch here on this base. Oh, he's just gonna take the Rich Vespine Geyser as his first gas, isn't he? This guy's a massive prick. Stargate going down. We have another zealot being built, as well as a second gateway. Absolutely end me. I have no clue what's going on over here. Absolutely no clue what's going on. Twilight Council, not. I saw the Twilight Council starting. I think MaxPax right now, what he's thinking, I can look into his brain. He's thinking to himself, I won with Twilight Council, I will go Twilight Council again, go into 4-gate Glaives. Then why does he have 4 gases? That makes no sense. Still gets the Twilight Council though. I think he might play Glaives again. I think he might play it. Could also go for Charge. Would be kind of cool. Reynor here, opting for a very quick lair of well, technically 4 gas. Well, it's 3 gas, but it does the mining of 4 gas. We see a Roadrunner. If he goes for a Pneumatized Carapace now, I'm actually going to flame him on Skype after this. This is not okay, Reynor. Oh, look at you, massive prick. Okay, goes for it again, but this time the situation is vastly superior for MaxPax compared to all the other games. This Void Ray is going pretty ham as well. That's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 1, 2, 3. How many Overlords did he get? 3 kills so far. Void Ray might end up falling. No, it won't. There's loads of Queens. There's loads of Roaches as well. I mean, MaxPax at this point can kind of expect the same thing to happen. So far, he's lost 3 times to the exact same build. Now, I'm not a genius, but I could have predicted that this was going to happen again, Mr. MaxPax. I could have seen it coming. That's all I'm saying. Could have seen it coming. Force on the way over here. Double Ravagers now being morphed. This is a decent army for the Pax Max, but decent might just not quite cut it. 2 more gateways are on the way. It's going to bring the total up to 10. More zealots are being warped in. Roach count actually isn't that high. Not that ridiculously high, at least. There's no speed whatsoever on the links. I just realized. I hadn't realized that before. Usually there was speed, I'm pretty sure, but this time there isn't. It's 90 supply to 136. Micro has been good out of Reynor. There's lots of cash in the bank for MaxPax right now, which he's struggling to spend. Gets 4 Archons, or 4 Templar, morphs them into 2 Archons. Super Battery active as well. So the Natural has now been completely destroyed by 6 links without speed. Roaches and Ravagers continue pushing forward here. We're getting closer and closer to the end of this series. And with this series, the tournament as well, as MaxPax steps out with a GG. And Reynor wins with 4 times the exact same build order. Gosh, am I glad about that. that is going to be it for the 2x speed tournament. I hope you all had a good time watching it. I have a feeling I'm not going to be revisiting this anymore. The first time I did it, I feel like people were a little bit more wild, you know? Now, it felt like they were too well prepared. And I think when people get too well prepared, imbalances end up showing. And I think, or maybe weaknesses of the Pro Tools players end up showing. That's also a possibility. It really did feel like Circle's very powerful in this mod. Anyway, still congratulations to Reynor. Undeserved championship, because it was the imbalance that did it, but still, you know, I gotta give it to the guy. Yeah, that's gonna be it pretty much. Thanks to Crate Entertainment for putting up the cash for this tournament. $500 Renos, that was real nice. And yeah, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel as always. And that will be it. Thanks so much for watching, and bye-bye.